Hi, I'm Zion,
And I'm Judah.
and this is the Amateur Film Critics.
Woohoo! All right. So I think today's episode is kind of weird. I know you. I know Zion. Like you were the one who suggested this movie in the first place.
Yes.
We're essentially calling this. I think we're calling this our bad movie of the season. You know what I mean?
It's
The one we
not
went in
that
knowing it was
bad.
going to be horrible.
It's not that bad.
It, it's
I thought it was a.
wait. Okay, well, we went in expecting it to be bad. Is my point. And we're gonna have to get into
You
more
went in
about what you
expecting
just
it
said
to
because
be.
you really hurt me when you said
You went in expecting it to be bad. I'd already watched it. I thought it was a weird film, and that I feel like needed to be covered. And and by the
that.
way,
Yeah.
I will be editing this episode, so if it's
Yes.
for editing than the past episodes, you know why. If it feels different, then
Yeah.
you know why. So okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
So I think just saying it, we watched Return to Oz, which
yes,
is
this
Disney's
this is the
unofficial sequel
unofficial
to The Wizard of
sequel.
Oz.
Yeah, and
And the
basically
interesting thing about it is basically in like the 80s or whatever, Disney acquired the rights to make film and movies about the books. And
yeah,
not the the rights to the original 1940 or 1939 Wizard of Oz movie that was ultra famous, which we made an episode about last week. You should go and
yes,
watch
we
that one
did.
first because there's going to be a little bit of continuation from that. But yeah, and so Disney, while also wanting to capitalize on the popularity of that film, but not being able to directly make a sequel of it, they made what's basically a sequel to the first Wizard of Oz books. There were 11 books about the land Oz written by the same author.
Yes,
They
and
basically made a sequel to that.
yeah. And what's interesting about this film is you know that the original film was based off of the first book. Well, this one was actually they put two of his books together and they combined them to make
Mm-hmm.
Oz, which I thought was really,
Yeah,
so.
I thought it was interesting.
But
I did not know going into it that they were going to use characters from those other 10 books, but they did. Like they brought new
yeah,
characters that maybe weren't in that original movie, but were in some of those 11 books. Which we're gonna have to talk about some of those characters. I'm thinking of one in particular that I really got to talk about, and it's literally over his name. But just real quick, in case you are in the majority that has not seen this movie, I'm gonna give you a quick plot overview that I stole
it's
from
on,
Google.
yeah, it's on Disney Plus, so
Yes, I
if
would
you
not
have
recommend you
Disney
watch
Plus.
it, but if you feel
I
the need
would
to,
recommend it. We have different, and if you're into weird '80s films, definitely check it out.
this is
If
definitely a weird
you're
80s
into
film. That's a good way to put it,
Satori,
Zai.
then
Okay, but here we go. Dorothy discovers she's back in the land of Oz and finds the yellow brick road is now a pile of rubble and the Emerald City is in ruins. Discovering that the magical land is now under control of an evil empire, she sets off to rescue the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion with the help of her new friends. Let's underline new friends and really bold in that. You need to understand that she's not gonna do this movie with those original three characters you fell in love with. In fact, you barely see the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man, which is my first beef with this movie in a
yeah,
way. But
yeah.
uh, but maybe not skipping ahead. Let's talk about the main character as we always do, Dorothy.
Mhm.
Oh, Dorothy is
Yeah,
significantly younger than she was in the movie version of The Wizard of Oz.
yeah,
And
which I think works better for her character. in a way.
And okay, I get that. Yeah, we
Because,
talked a little bit about
yeah,
how Dorothy is
yeah,
technically supposed to be a child according to the books, and I think that's why they made her younger. Wouldn't you agree? Is because
yeah,
it's
I
supposed to be
think,
it's technically supposed to be a sequel to the book.
yeah,
But yeah. So
feel like I also feel like this actor acts a little bit better as the Dorothy character than Judy Garland did, but that's
Mhm.
my opinion. But
Okay, Uh, that's your opinion. I would not. I don't know if I'd agree with that, but well, okay. Um, I don't know. I think Dorothy, she's sort of. I think Judy Garland did, in a way, define the character. Even though, Dorothy
yeah,
isn't the best character or anything
but
from the movie,
but I feel
I think,
like the character of Dorothy as a whole works better with a younger child than a senior in high school.
mm,
You know? Because
yeah, that's a good point. I would agree with that.
because then when you're having a child do it, you can't act more whine. You can't have them act more whinier and more
Yeah,
like a childlike sense. They can't
which I
like
did
cry
think that.
over
Yeah,
than a senior in high school where it doesn't work that well.
yeah,
You know, but
yeah,
but but in Judy Garland's defense, though, in this film, they have her act more as a grown up than a child. I would say because
yeah. That's
I
I
feel
would
like
agree with that.
I didn't see a lot of emotion out of her. She just handled it well, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, there isn't. I would say this might. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of old movies, but that is the sense that you get from older movies from like lit 40s and 50s. Like the
uh-huh.
actors weren't like super emotional. There was this very much. I don't know even what word to put with it, but I think you guys understand. But moving on, my first and most immediate problem was that Dorothy was obviously missing Oz. And we left the last movie with the big, emotional lesson is that she needed to learn to be a little bit more content with her home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and
And
all
we
the fair.
immediately reversed
Oh,
that.
this this is a separate movie. I feel like
I
this
know.
is a separate universe than the Wizard of Oz. This is based more off the books, and
I
so
know, but if the Wizard of Oz book ended with at least her saying there's no place like home, in fact, I'm gonna Google that. But if the not the Izzard, if the Wizard of Oz book at least said there's no place like home, then you immediately have this sort of continuity problem as far as making I don't know how to put it, as far as making a sequel to that book.
uh,
Because Dorothy's supposed to have learned to love her home. You know what I mean? Uh,
yeah.
but I'm
So
googling it. Give
moving
me a
on,
second. All right, here we go.
moving on. Let's just
So
move on. Let's t-
yeah.
let's let's talk about Dorothy's shock therapy. Let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, that was
About
so unsettling and uncomfortable. I hate it every
this,
moment.
I
So
was. This is the most scared I have been in watching a movie in our podcast. I wasn't
I yeah,
scared
I
during
would
Harry.
agree with that. We watched.
I wasn't scared during Little Shop of Horrors. I wasn't scared during Harry Potter, but
Yeah,
I was scared of this scene, this mental hospital scene in Return to Oz, because it's unsettling, but you
yeah,
have to
and
think back. The
I
movie takes place like in the late
late 1800s.
1890s, and show back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. They say it's like
And
3 years till the new century.
yeah,
But I actually have to
and so
talk a little bit about this
yeah, and so back then
because
they thought, this really helped people.
yeah,
It was different
yeah, they
times,
did.
different technology.
It was just, yeah, and that was probably I'm pretty sure there were a lot of actual places that were like that, which is screwed up and all that, but they
Right.
didn't have they didn't realize, I guess. But I have to talk about something because
Okay.
I did not realize this thing was going to come up. So when I said, "Oh, I'm going to be watching this movie that's supposed to be bad called The Return to Oz," Grant, our grandparents decided to watch it with me.
Wait,
So
what?
I'm
You
just
didn't
sitting
tell me
there.
this. You didn't tell me
Well, I know. I did not think that it was going to start out this way, okay?
this.
So Zion thinks it's funny because she knows especially how my grandma is. She doesn't like, very dark things like that.
Oh,
But
what
we were
was your
just like,
reaction?
I'm sitting there like just waiting and hoping that this part of the movie is gonna end. It's not gonna feel like this anymore. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm honestly afraid that she's gonna say, all right, turn this off. I'm not watching this anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Did they
But
watch
like,
the
it was.
rest of the? Have they watched the rest of the film though?
Oh yeah, they stayed the rest of the film, which they
Okay.
after that scene ended, they were good for the rest of the film. But I could tell Grandma didn't like the film. She said it wasn't scary, which it honestly is, but it
Yeah.
honestly isn't. It's just unsettling to
It's
watch. But I
unsettling.
could tell that like it wasn't the kind of thing she liked. Um,
Okay. And
but
so
yeah, so that
another part of
entire
this, yeah. So another part of this scene that I thought was interesting is that I didn't realize this until after the movie was over. Just
mhm,
like in the first film where AC characters from Kansas play characters in Oz, the
yeah,
lady in the black dress plays the
yeah,
plays the lady who changes her heads in the film.
yeah, Mombi.
Like, yeah, Mombi. She is one of the heads, and then the doctor is plays the gnome king. And so I found that interesting as
Yeah,
so just a fun little
that's an interesting part. Now, basically, after all that happens in a way, is uh Dorothy ends up almost drowning in a way. In fact, she sees a
yeah.
girl
So she
almost
yeah.
drown or
So
legit drown.
this girl approaches her and helps her escape the hospital, which turns out in the end as a good thing because they say the hospital burned down and she would have died.
Yeah, it's a good thing they
Basically,
got
the girl
out.
saved her life.
Um,
So,
which
but
is I'm also glad that the hospital burns down.
yeah,
You know
and
what I
so
mean?
but the unsettling part is that just like in the last film, um, we don't know. Dorothy could have had the actual shock therapy, and all this could have been in her head, because
Well, I don't think, and this is
I
one of
don't
my
know.
problems with this movie. I think that this movie was definitely supposed to finally say that Oz is real, and I that's another part because one of my favorite parts about the last movie about the Wizard of Oz is that it it leaves that ambiguous. You finally don't know whether or not Oz was a dream or not. But with this one, and here's why I think this: she finds the key in the very beginning of the movie to Oz.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so I
yeah,
feel like it's stuff like that, and like the chicken would have
yeah,
disappeared.
yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot.
afterward.
Yeah, I forgot about
So
that.
I think they are definingly saying that this
Oz is
movie
a real
is like,
place.
Oz is real in
Yeah.
this movie. And I don't like that. I think that really ruins a lot of the I don't know story
But I
of
mean,
the other one.
but I mean, they obviously don't flat out say it though, right? It's
That's
could be
true. They
just
don't
her
flat out say it, but
imagination, her
it sure
passing
can.
out on the boat. Well,
Yeah.
she could have passed out when in the water, and all this is her imagination, So I don't know.
hmm
An imagination,
I get what you're
but
saying.
I don't know. But
Now,
moving on,
my problem is,
not make this too long.
yeah, moving on. I also have a problem with just Oz in general. I think they kind of made it less serious, which I know the original Oz wasn't serious, but you have dumb stuff like the deadly desert. Like, I don't know why
I
that
feel like
seems
that
so
was an
dumb to me. It
interesting
just does.
part. So
I found it felt really dumb to me, especially when she walked
yeah,
over the
I
rocks.
feel like,
Um,
you have to admit that they do explain it. They do explain
they explain it.
us being run down, because the
hmm
alien has basically attacked everything. So,
Um,
next, let's just talk about the characters in general.
yeah, yeah. The Wheelers, I
Because
think, can be summed up in one
let's,
sentence. I found them
yeah,
stupid.
found the Wheelers. I
Um, but
They didn't serve a lot of purpose. They were the flying monkeys of the film.
yeah, they were just
Yeah.
henchmen. Yeah, they were the flying monkeys of the film. That's a great way of putting it. Um, Now here's the character I have a problem with. TikTok.
What's
They
wrong
legit
with
named a robot
TikTok?
TikTok. I think it's just because of the social media that is came since this movie has been made, but the fact that he's named TikTok, I find that it makes his
Oh,
character
his
so much
name,
more
yeah.
stupid to me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Which
it's not.
here's the worst part though. TikTok has his own book, written by the original author of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
TikTok of Oz is an actual book.
Oh,
And
wow.
that just immediately like, I don't know. I know it's stupid, but I don't like it.
Oh, brother.
And I don't like a lot of the characters. For instance, Jack Pumpkinhead. Tell me he just wasn't a little
Which,
too over the top.
A Nightmare Before Christmas ripped this movie off. Say.
I don't even know if you can say rip this movie off. In my opinion,
It's just,
naming a
they
character with
are
a pumpkin
same,
head Jack is not
but,
original at all.
yeah, but they are similar characters, though. So,
Yeah, I'd say so.
and
I
then
also hated
there's
that he called Dorothy mom.
Um. Oh, you hated. I mean, it is explained. They
It is
know. They're
explained, but
just
it's a really
criticizing
bad
this.
plot
Why?
point even in the
They're
beginning.
just bad mouthing it because
I
I
am
feel
not
like
bad mouthing it. I was sitting there and I was
because
thinking all this. It's a
of
weird
the
plot point to begin
well,
with.
this movie is not for everyone. It's for the more artistic people.
I think it's for
Gotta
children, and at that point, I know. I'm sorry, Zion, but I think this was supposed to be just a dumb children's movie.
No, it's not. You're bad.
And the problem is, we know that children's movies can turn out good. This one just did not.
Don't listen to his opinion. Don't. He's just bad mouthing it.
Okay, you know what? You
Reminded
can
me
talk about
of
Gump,
the old men
considering you named your.
from the mama uppish. Oh, he reminded me of the old men from the mama uppish.
I am not the
Bad
old
mouth.
man on the Muppet Show. I just have a lot of problems with this movie.
You clearly have a lot of.
All right, you talk about Gump. I don't even want to talk about Gump because it was such a stupid character in my opinion.
That he was made
I'm sorry. Maybe Gump was
past the
probably
deadly desert. So let's not talk about the
yes. Gump was made to have been passed
because you're just bad mouthing every character. I want to talk about.
I'm sorry. All right. You know what?
I'm going to talk about some behind the scenes facts, and let's. So,
Oh,
there's
yay! I
a
love
lot of.
behind the scenes facts.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of stop motion in this film. So, and the stop motion, I think, was the best part of this film. I would say, but basically,
Yeah.
stop motion was done by a man named Will Benton. And if you're a fan of advertisement mascots, which I believe I should have a YouTube series about them on our channel, but he was the dude who did the California Raisins commercials. And I believe
I did not know that.
I believe he also did the Noid from the Domino's commercials, and so he was a huge stop.
Okay.
He was huge in the world of stop motion, and he did
Yeah.
like all those scenes with the Gnome King being stop motion. Those were all him.
Yeah.
So oh, and the other
Hmm.
I had is the puppetry of a TikTok is interesting, and so basically you had a
Yeah.
gymnast. TikTok was made. There was a top half and a bottom half, and so the gymnast got in the bottom half, and was uh basically bent over, so he couldn't see anything. And so all those scenes with TikTok, he was bent
Okay.
down. I'll try to show pictures of it, but basically he was bent down and couldn't see anything during the scenes of TikTok.
No, that is fascinating to me, Zion.
Yeah,
I gotta say
yeah,
that makes TikTok a better character. All right,
yeah. See,
TikTok,
I'm
you
reviving
just went up in
TikTok.
my book.
I'm reviving TikTok.
There you go, Zion. You're already changing my mind a little bit about this movie.
Change your mind.
I gotta talk about. I'm sorry, we have to talk about this.
The
How
head
stupid
lady.
did the scarecrow look?
His mouth.
No, not the heads lady. I don't care as
I
much.
will say, the scarecrow. Yeah, but
The
it's the worst
scarecrow.
moment of the film. It's really bad.
Yeah,
Bad. Um,
it was really bad.
the other characters were fine in my opinion, but the scarecrow.
Yeah, they weren't that bad in my opinion. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Other than maybe Jack. Jack was a little too much. But
The main thing I didn't
yeah.
like about Jack is that his mouth didn't move, and so I don't
Mm,
talk about him. But let's talk about the heads lady. The
the heads lady, alright.
this lady was interesting.
In my opinion, she just felt like the Wicked Witch, all like, second
Yeah,
generation of her, you know what I mean?
yeah, I will say that.
You know what I mean? Like there wasn't she was an okay character. The Gnome King,
Uh,
again, an okay character.
okay,
I think one of the
so
funniest things was when he wore the ruby slippers. I thought that looks
that
hilarious.
was good. Yeah. So let's kind of wrap things up here. Who was your favorite character?
Yeah,
Who was your character of the film?
my favorite. My favorite character. Do I have to have one? Oh,
Mine is a tie
I know this is
between.
stupid.
Mine was a tie between
No,
the
you go on.
and the talking chicken.
Okay, yes, the talking chicken. By the way, I'm gonna pass on my favorite character time to talk about this.
Okay.
Their way of wrapping up this movie was by having the talking chicken lay an egg into the bad
Yeah,
guy's mouth and kill him.
yeah, that was dumb, but it was probably written in the books though, so it probably made more. This probably
You
made
think that was written in the
as two
book?
separate books. I don't know if it was or not, but it probably
Mm,
makes more sense if
yeah,
you actually read the books. So
yeah. I mean, it might make more sense to a diehard fan of the books. This movie might be incredible. They might have loved it. But
yeah. Um,
as far
yeah.
as the regular people,
I'm gonna move on
you
here.
have do you have a
Favorite
favorite
scene.
scene, Ryan?
My favorite scene is when the when they're in the Gnome King's collection and the stop motion of the Gnome King appears and he's just eats the
Yeah.
couch. And yeah, that was my favorite scene. And you see all those dudes on the wall. I thought it was just really good stop motion, my opinion, and it looked really well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite?
As far as my favorite scene,
You probably don't have one.
this is gonna sound
All the bad
strange.
mouth things you've said about this film.
Well, I kind of want to say the creepy mental hospital scenes,
Yeah, that was a
and
good
in my opinion,
one.
those were like very well seen. And if this was a movie about, some girl in a mental hospital in the 1890s when like the entire point of the movie was to be scary, it was a horror movie. Like those
Right.
scenes totally capture like tone and like setting and all that, and they may do it very well. Even like acting is incredible.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is it's for the movie, it's for a sequel of Wizard of Oz, so it
Yeah.
feels very strange. But I think those might be my favorite scene. Like that might be my favorite scene.
Yeah.
So Zion, what do you give it? What's your rating, man?
I'm gonna give it be 7.5. Um, 7.5 wheelers out of 10. I thought
Zion?
I thought it was better than the original.
Yeah, that's my thing right now. You gave The Wizard of Oz, the 1940 classic, a 7 flying monkeys out of 10 flying monkeys, and you're giving this one a 7.5 wheelers out of 10 wheelers?
I thought it was just a
Oh,
little
Zion,
bit
Zion.
better than the original. I thought it
In
hold up
case you couldn't see this
well.
coming, I am giving this 0 stars out of 5 stars.
Uh,
This was really bad movie, Zion. I'm sorry. I know you liked it, but in my opinion, this was
well,
easily one of the worst movies I've ever
I
watched. It
can't
might be the
wait
worst.
to trash and Inception. Then I can't wait to trash that film.
You are not going to trash
I
Inception. That's
can't
not
wait
even
to
a
trash
planned movie for this
Inception.
season. Oh my gosh, Zion, you
Can't
are
wait
not going to
to trash.
trash Inception. You will love it. Zion, you're getting us off topic, man. Okay. Just
Okay, so
subscribe,
let's
please.
end
Zion's
it
going to give
with
us a lovely
we
Dr.
need
Seuss video.
50 subscribers, and I will make the Dr. Seuss video.
Yeah.
50 subscribers. So yeah, and comment
Um,
below
Also follow
your
Instagram.
yeah, follow us on Instagram. Comment down below your rating of this film if you watched it, and let us know what movies you would like for us to talk about in the future. So, goodbye.
Mhm. Bye, y'all.